Hello, it's me, the ukulele teacher, here to teach you how to play Moon River. So, grab your uke, make sure it's in tune, and get ready to play Moon River. Before we begin, I'm just going to play through the song quickly to give you a rough idea of what it should sound like when you've learned it. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style. Someday, you dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world, there's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. These are the chords you'll need for the song. If you already know them, skip ahead now. To play the chord of C, put your third finger on the third fret of the first string, and C should sound like this. To play the chord of A minor, put your second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and A minor should sound like this. To play the chord of F, just add your first finger to the first fret of the second string, and F should sound like this. To play the chord of B minor 7, just bar the second fret with your first finger. That means you push down on all four strings at the same time, and B minor 7 should sound like this. To play the chord of E7, put your first finger on the first fret of the fourth string, your second finger on the second fret of the third string, and your third finger on the second fret of the first string, and E7 should sound like this. To play the chord of C7, put your first finger on the first fret of the first string, and C7 should sound like this. The chord of A minor 7 is just all four open strings. You don't actually need your finger anywhere on the fretboard. So A minor 7 should sound like this. To play the chord of D7, bar the second fret again with your first finger, then add your second finger to the third fret of the first string, and D7 should sound like this. To play the chord of G7, put your first finger on the first fret of the second string, your second finger on the second fret of the third string, and your third finger on the second fret of the first string, and G7 should sound like this. To play the chord of D minor 7, go back to that F shape, then add your third finger to the second fret of the third string, then add your fourth finger to the third fret of the first string, and D minor 7 should sound like this. And to play the chord of F minor, put your first finger on the third fret of the first string, then add your second finger to the fourth fret of the second string, then add your third and fourth fingers to the fifth fret of the fourth and third string, and F minor should sound like this. Now sometimes I do find F minor is a difficult chord to get to in the middle of a song, so sometimes I cheat a little bit and just put my third finger on the fifth fret of the third string. I don't play the fourth string. So it's not quite the full chord, but it's a bit easier and it sounds almost as good. And here F minor will sound like this. Now there's not really a chorus in this song, there's just two verses which are quite similar but not exactly the same. So I'm going to have to break it down for you line by line and verse by verse. The first thing I'm going to do though is teach you the strumming pattern. It's a nice and slow song with a nice and gentle strumming pattern. You just play down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, all the way through. Let me show you on the first line, which is just C, A minor, F and C. Moon River, wider than a mile. Have you got it? It's just down, down, up, once on each chord. Then the second line is F to C to B minor 7 to E7. I'm crossing you in style someday. The third line is A minor to C7 to F minor. You dream maker, you heartbreaker. And then the final line of verse 1 is A minor 7 to D7 to D minor 7 to G7. Wherever you're going, I'm going your way. So put that all together and you've got the first verse. The first two lines of the second verse are exactly the same as the first two lines of the first verse. Two drifters few lines of verse 2 are a bit different. The next line goes from A minor to A minor 7 to D7 to F minor to C. We're after the same rainbow's end. Then the next line you just go from F to C to F to C again. Waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend. And then the final line of verse 2 is just A minor to D minor 7 to G7 to C. Moon, river, and me. And that's how to play Moon River. I've been the ukulele teacher. If you have any requests for future lessons, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I love you all and I wish you the best.